Cue the hashtag send in the clowns. Tomorrow, the House Select Committee on Benghazi, that elite group of 7 Republican truth seekers and 5 attendant Democrats, it will conduct its first public hearing into the 2012 attack on the consulate, though this is, of course, not the first public hearing on Benghazi. It is the 14th. But don't expect fireworks, or at least don't expect fireworks this week. Mother Jones' David Corn says this GOP Benghazi hearing is actually worth having. That is because Republican Chair Trey Gowdy has agreed to kick off things with a legitimate policy discussion about embassy security. Specifically, an update on how well the State Department is implementing the 24 security recommendations made by the Independent Accountability Review Board back in 2012. Will the proceedings stay serious? It would seem that the Democrats on the committee are not so sure. Today, they held a press conference to unveil a new website, Benghazi on the Record, Asked and Answered, a website intended to preemptively push back on the expected avalanche of Republican rumors and conspiracy mongering. Joining me now is Washington Bureau Chief for BuzzFeed, John Stanton, and Washington Bureau Chief for Mother Jones, David Corn. David, optimist that you are, let me start with you. What meaningfully do you expect to get from this, and how likely is this to devolve into chaos as soon as that meaningful part is over?
Well, first, welcome back. It's great to see you again, Alex.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're right. I'm optimistic. I'm upbeat. I think, for years, it seems, some of us have been saying, listen, there are serious questions about Benghazi. What happened with diplomatic security? What happened with communication between Washington and Libya? Who's responsible? Obviously, something went wrong. And we want to make sure that brave public servants like Ambassador Christopher Stevens and the other 3 Americans who perished that night are never in a position like that again. This is what Congress should be focused on and caring about. And so, indeed, this new special committee in Benghazi, at the suggestion of a Democratic member, Representative Adam Schiff of California, is beginning its new round of hearings by focusing on the suggestions that were made, the 24 unclassified recommendations made by the ARB, the Accountability Review Board, and how to make things work better for diplomatic security. My question is whether they're going to stick to this topic, all those 7 Republicans, and really do the hard, sometimes boring oversight that needs to be done to make sure the rest of the government is working well.
John, let me ask you, Democrats today at their press conference were somewhat muted in their alarm, given the rhetoric that has been tossed about in advance of this select committee coming to fruition. How much of a game changer is Trey Gowdy in terms of, rallying goodwill, at least at the beginning of this thing?
Yeah, I think he definitely is. He's taken a very serious approach to it. He's made it very clear that he does not want to repeat some of the problems of Chairman Issa's inquiries into this, where...
Wait, did Darrell Issa not do a good job, John?
There are certainly those in the Republican Party who feel like he has overstepped.
Oh, only those in the Republican Party. Go ahead, sorry.
I know, right? No. Yeah, and I think he's trying to avoid some of the theatrics. Certainly, the fights with Representative Cummings and other kinds of things like that have really turned this into a circus every time Benghazi comes up. And, I think going to a very serious issue and things that everybody agrees are real problems and things that need to be looked at was a smart move on his part. It does signal an effort to try to be serious about it, and can maybe at the front end of this undercut some efforts by Democrats and some of their allies to say this is just about politics in the election in a couple weeks.
And yet, David, this is like a pie-eating contest.
Can I do the and yet?
Yes,
I have
you can
the
do
and yet here. The and yet is that there is still a Republican conservative constituency out there that this committee was created to service. And they are going to be expecting all those conspiracies proven by the investigative work of this new committee. And if that doesn't happen, they'll be accusing the Republicans of wimping out, rhinoing out, not, covering up. Yes, I'm sure you do too. I'm sure John gets the emails on a daily basis by all these conservative groups that are fundraising off Benghazi and off Hillary Clinton in Benghazi. going to want more than just the good, solid policy substance work that we see the committee beginning with.
You just went from being an optimist to being a pessimist. But, John, let me ask you on that note, Hillary Clinton, Trey Gowdy said a few weeks ago on our air, the Benghazi probe could run into 2016. Right. What else happens in 2016?
Yeah, exactly.
And not by coincidence, the Ready for Hillary folks have a new the Hillary allies, I will call them, have a new website to compete with the Democratic one, which I believe is called BenghaziCommittee.com, which specifically rebuts the Secretary of State's role in all of this. Do you think this has legs into 2016?
Oh, I think for Republicans, sure. I mean, they could end this look at it right now, and it would still have a mad amount of legs for it. Sure. I don't think Republicans are going to give this up. I think, the base groups. The thing is that it doesn't matter really what happens with this inquiry. Organizations that are making money off this and organizations that have sort of been putting out lots and lots of different kinds of theories, no matter how potentially preposterous, are going to continue to do so, and that's going to be a reality that she's going to have to deal with. I think the one thing that Democrats need to be careful of is to not look like they are trying to just protect Hillary in this situation. If they come off as looking like this is overly partisan and they're trying to just protect her, it's going to look like they're participating in some kind of a cover-up, and that will actually probably give it more legs than otherwise it would have.
Smoke and mirrors. John Stanton, David Corn, gentlemen, thank you for your time. That is all for now.
Thank you.
I will see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, The Ed Show.